everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps, Exodus, the newest story arc as our players are finally leaving the Isle of Arasthk and heading back to the mainland. I am very, very excited about tonight, but today is June 10th, 2019, and you are loved. And because it is Pride Month, I want to make an especial shout out to everybody who is celebrating in their own particular way, because I am proud of you. We are proud of you. We are proud of the choices that you are making, and you're doing the best that you can. And we see that. That's awesome. Keep doing it. Because at the end of the day, nobody else can tell you how to do you best besides yourself. Even this group of online role players cannot tell you how to do yourself better than just be you. But that is, that's just something that you guys should keep in mind. Always. Other things to keep in mind, we stream not only Mondays, but Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, all here at twitch.tv/indooradventures with a variety of content. We got homebrew games, Curse of Strahd games, community one-shot games, and as always, we also have our Saltmarsh game. Other things that you should possibly keep in mind, if you are interested in watching VODs, all of those go up on youtube.com/indooradventures, or you can go to Indoor Adventures anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. Now, there's one last thing that you should be aware of, which is, guys, did you know we got merch? I put this spiel out every single podcast, so you should by now. But if you don't, are you interested in the bigger battler mug? What about a tank top that makes it look like I don't have clothes on unless my hair is tied up? What about a poster that has Cori and Olivia on it? Also, starting last week, so a little bit late on this announcement, but we also have the Stompfoot and Goreblast Gymnasium set of merch that you can find on our merch store at bit.ly/adventuremerch. And that has a bunch of cool stuff with it. We have mugs for that. We got sweatshirts. We got t-shirts. We got all sorts of stuff that you can find at bit.ly/adventuremerch. Also, if you are interested in supporting the show via Patreon, we have one of those set up as well, which will get you access to our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community at large. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, I would suggest checking out patreon.com/indooradventures. Now, that is it for my spiel. So guys, who are we going to be playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ and I'm playing Caelum, the Shadowkai Cleric.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp and I'm playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian.
I am Cyber and I play Arjan, the Dragonborn Blood Hunter.
Hey, I'm Wings and I'm playing Coriander, the Eldrin Paladin.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. Now, last we left off, you guys had recovered Gwen's axe after a pretty... the encounter went south with the Keshin Trade Company. A lot more south than you had initially thought that it was going to be, as you guys ended up finding yourselves in jail after the murder of 14 individuals at the Briny Ore Bar as a result of a magical explosion that happened around Caelum when he used his arcane abilities. You ended up getting released from your arrest by the word of the dragon Arasthk himself, but were told that you had to leave the island the next day. There was no more waiting on this island for one thing or another, and at that point you guys just said, yep, nope, that's fine, and decided to disembark. You ended up crewing once more with Captain Oliviette, and after the first 2 days of sailing, you guys encountered after the first day of sailing, you guys encountered a rainstorm confining Cori to the captain's quarters. Ever since then, it has been very dreary on this ship, but thankfully, you guys are now on your way back to the mainland, back to this town of Marysville. So, at this point, what would you guys like to do? Arjan, you are still asleep, communicating with the Abishai known as Newell. Caelum, what were you doing overnight? Were you sleeping or were you meditating?
He is going to sleep.
Okay. And then, Gwen, you had been accompanied by your favored pet, Cybra, off to a corner where Cybra continued to beg scraps from you. You said no because you just weren't feeling it. And then, what are you doing this evening?
She'll probably go to the lower decks and start training? Working out.
All right, sounds good. Arjan, is there anything that you would like to ask of Newell in your current dream, as they have provided you with a large 300-page book about the wonders of Tiamat and all of the splendors that her following would actually entail you?
More like why questions, like what about this like made them want to sign up? Like, I'm not getting the whole like vibe. Like, why are they like this?
Why are they like this? Why are Tiamat worshippers the way that they are?
Yes.
So they let you know, Newell lets you know that they believe the reason for the fanaticism that follows Tiamat comes from her connection with all chromatic dragons, and how chromatic dragons, as well as metallic dragons, are often at the top of the food chain. So there is vehement worship throughout all steps of the ladder of the dragon cult, with Tiamat always being at the top, as the chromatic dragons revere her not only as their queen by matriarchy, but also their queen in terms of godhood.
Okay. So it's just like a food chain thing.
In a way, yes. She's also a wonderful performer. You should hear her sing sometime.
I'm sorry, what?
She's a performer. She puts on a show for the dragons, for the people of the Hells. She has 5 heads. She's able to choreograph 5 different dances all at the same time. You've never seen anything like it.
I don't. You're right. I have not. I am very confused.
About what? She has the ability to turn into a humanoid. Or at least to appear therein. So, with the powers of the Hells at her disposal, she likes to encourage her fans to continue coming to visit.
Okay. Not really my thing.
Do you not like music?
It's all right.
I can guarantee you've never heard music like this before. Do you like respect?
I wouldn't know.
The Queen can give it to you, you know. Through her powers, you would have respect. People would revere you.
That's not really what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for, Arjan?
I'm looking to stop 2 apocalypses from happening.
It sounds like you need somebody cheering you on. Somebody who's, well, got your back, so to say.
I hate that. Sign me up.
And he, or they bow and say, with that, with the way that you are, the coin is yours. Consider it a gift from a fellow clergyman.
Wait.
A priest. A follower.
Uh,
An acolyte.
we already have a priest. And I'm...
Was it the orange-haired one?
No. Well, I mean, she's also got a god. Actually, everybody on the team already has a god. And...
Do you?
No, not really.
Well, you do now.
I always... Look, I've seen a lot of people do really bad things because of their gods. It's not...
Arjan. And Tarlayan says, looking over towards you.
She does not command us to do anything we don't already want to do. She encourages our very nature.
And what is that nature?
Mine is to rule. And she backed me. Gave me followers. Gave me powers. And as such, I was able to rule over parts of the warring kingdoms. You have the desire to stop these apocalypses, as you've said.
Right. And you're supposed to help me with that.
And I will.
And Newell steps in and says, the Queen would, if you were to take this on, would be helping you as well.
If I work as a priest for her?
Well, you don't have to go around and declare your love for her, although give it a performance, then we'll see how you respond. But all you have to do is just be yourself. That's all that she can ask. She loves us. Each and every one of us. Even you.
I don't know.
That does not mean that her love doesn't reach you.
Look, let me think about it.
As you wish, Your Grace. And Newell kind of bows towards you. And he says, I will leave this here, a further gift to you. And he motions towards the large book that is left on the stone dais. At your own pace, Your Grace. And then looking over towards Tarlayan, Your Grace. And continues to just recede until they are out of the they are now backed into the shadows, no longer present.
And just not leaving this space.
Oh, we lost RJ. Just keep going.
Not leaving this place. He's gonna start just like looking through the book.
Okay. Sounds good.
And just like thinking about everything that everybody's been talking about.
All right.
Meditating on the coin.
Sounds good. So let me get this layout fixed. The stats will look a little wonky because this is an older layout, but it will work nonetheless. Danae, you're Caelum for right now. And then there were technical difficulties. Excellent. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Game changer. That's what we've done, folks. We've changed the game, and now
You're
the red
just
on
in
my
the left
face.
ear.
Yeah, for some reason.
What?
Left
You're
ear.
just in the left ear.
And I present you even more technical difficulties. Now I'm all sweaty, but it's only because of embarrassment and not because of the heat.
Staying cool in a indoor merch.
In an
tank
indoor
top.
merch tank top. So,
That's right.
My new indoor merch is coming in on the 13th.
what? Awesome. So, Cori, you are up before anybody else. The rain is still pouring, and you hear the rumblings of thunder, and you actually see the crack of lightning. And Oliviette at this point is still asleep. You are the only person who actually sees this. But looking out onto the ocean, you see large cracks of lightning through the night sky. And as you are looking off, you see one of these lightning bolts actually shoot down, but it seems to stop about halfway through the night sky, and you see it ripple across a horizontal form and kind of wrap underneath. And as you watch, you see more of this lightning actually striking almost this same form in the night sky as you are tracking its gaze, until eventually you see what looks to be a enormous bird that is just kind of sailing through the night sky, but it is made entirely of lightning. And it just seems to be playing inside of this thunderstorm as you continue sailing on.
Does the storm seem to be getting worse?
The storm seems to be following it.
Ugh. Is it following us, or
No.
is it going away?
It is going away, it looks like.
Okay. I think Coriander's just going to try and burn the image of that into her memory.
Okay.
And remember exactly what that looks like so that she can talk to Caelum later and see if he knows anything about that. He could dig up some lore.
All right, so yeah, your evening ends up going by uneventfully after that point, and you guys all find yourselves on the deck the following morning. The rain is no longer pelting down around you. Yes.
So Arjan's been in his heart space for like the entire night, which is a lot longer than Tarlane is probably used to him being in there. But by this time, he actually used his stream time to go through the entire book, and is like going to take the coin and like go to another chamber of his heart. And just whenever he doesn't think that anybody's listening, I don't know how this shit works. I've never been one for gods. But Nil, Tale, and they seem to think you do a lot for them, that you help them be more themselves. But I don't even know who the fuck I am. A clone of Tale and a witch knight. Blake, Arjan. And honestly, I just want to keep myself busy so I don't have to answer that question. I already have people at my back. And I guess you've been on it, on my back for my whole life. If there's something, if this is something that's going to help me, that's going to help my friends, then I'm all for it. And they'll wake up.
Okay. And as you finish this brief prayer, you feel those carved markings in your back that form her symbol, just like a reassuring hug from behind. They just begin to gently warm.
Bad touch, bad touch, bad touch.
There's no physical presence. It is just a very calming kind of heat. But yeah, you wake up. Your back is no longer hotter than the rest of your body in comparison. But it seems like Caelum is still just passed out. He is in the deep sleepies right now. But the three of you are awake, and the rain has stopped. It is no longer there is no longer an incredible storm happening around you. What would you guys like to do?
Gwen's gonna go up on deck, kind of just have her wrappings on and start training. Trying to hit things with the other things.
Cori will join her. She wants to stretch after being cooped up in the captain's quarters.
Are you allowed to be up here?
I can go wherever I want. I'm an adult. You're not my mom, Gwen. You're not anyone's mom.
You're right. Sorry.
Let's just hit something.
All right.
5.
Okay.
I'll be starting early today.
Yeah. Is everyone gonna do this now?
What is this?
Just practicing my form, going through my rituals.
Did you want to do this alone?
I mean, kind of.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. Coriander's gonna take a couple of steps away. And just sort of stand there for a second. And then just be like, sorry. And then she's gonna go to the other side of the deck. And then poke her head around.
Gwen is just doing like it kind of looks like tribal like stomping and like a lot of flexing and hitting sort of things. Like she's getting back to the basics of combat in her mind and really trying to improve her quickness. So she might, as one of the kobolds pass, ask them to throw stuff at her and she'll like knock it out of the way. And then eventually, after a couple days, she'll get like 2 of them to do it, and then all 3 of them to do it, that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah. The kobold that you ask is Malk, the very tall, kind of paler-looking kobold, and he is more than willing to throw things at you if that is what you want him to do. He has been told to listen to you guys, like to defer to instructions if Oliviette has nothing that she really needs him for. And you actually have a pretty well-staffed crew. There is your 2 human companions, a Kanku, or sorry, 3 human companions, a Kanku, and then the 4 kobolds on top of Oliviette.
All right, I made friends with the Kanku, didn't I?
Yes, Bristlebeak.
Yes, Bristlebeak. Sorry, that was me being a Kanku.
That's all right. Alrighty, so, yeah, Malk is definitely willing to help you out with this. Now, do you want him to be trying to throw things? Hey, he's back!
Is he? Yay!
I lived.
Now, are you wanting this kobold to throw things at you directly, or did you want him to be trying to do like lobbing things up for you almost?
No, definitely trying to hit me.
Okay. He seems very pensive at this, but he eventually takes out some rocks and just begins trying to hurl them at you.
Sorry. The cat has fallen asleep on my arm.
Oh no. You can't move now. It's against the rules.
I know. Like head over my arm.
Your arm's lost forever. It's
Gone
just gone.
forever into the ether. Yes. Would you like me to make something?
Yes.
Or?
Make a dexterity save as you dodge out of the way of these incoming projectiles. You will have advantage on this because danger sense.
Yeah. 18.
Okay. Yeah, so he's busy throwing rocks at you, but you are just easily dodging out of the way of these, and with a very satisfying sploosh behind you after each time these rocks just sort of sail by into the ocean.
I said, "Come on, hit me!"
And he looks down, and you can see that these rocks are just like decreasing in quantity. And he just says, "Okay," and tries to hit at you again. So make another dexterity save.
10.
Okay. So yeah, with a 10, eventually one of these rocks ends up flying, like as you're dodging out of the way, he throws one and you think that it is going to be coming in a particular way, but then it just sinks at the very end, almost like a very nicely thrown pitch. And it ends up just kind of pegging you square in the chest.
I'm sorry.
No, that's good. I want you to do that.
Okay.
Now get more rocks. Let's go.
And he looks down and there is just a small collection. And he just says,
I don't have any more. I brought these with me. These were my favorites.
Gwen looks confused, concerned, and then back to confused. Sorry. Is there anything else you can throw at me?
And he looks at it and just,
Do you have ball bearings?
No, all my shit was taken from me. Thank you for reminding me.
I'm sorry.
and he just kind of like flies off. Caelum, it took you a little bit longer overnight, as you were just kind of tired. So you are waking up about 30-45 minutes past where everybody else is going to be waking up. But when you go upstairs, the rain has stopped. There is no longer this thunderous storm that has caught you guys in the middle of it. And it looks like Gwen is currently getting a kobold to throw rocks at her. Cori is standing off on the other side of the deck. And what has Arjan been doing at this time?
Arjan's just been like keeping an eye on everybody, but sort of just like standing apart, like making sure that Cori wasn't about to get like splashed by the tide or the waves, making sure that not that Gwen wouldn't get hurt, because he knows Gwen can handle herself, but that what her training was actually like useful, I guess. I don't know. Like, he's just observing everything right now. Not really doing much.
Gwen does seem like she is dodging these rocks quicker and quicker each time. Kind of learning more how to anticipate the movements of this creature as it tries to throw them at her.
Do you want me to like try to shoot at you?
Can you like spit your acid? Like besides like vomiting it? Like do a localized ball of it?
I mean, I can put a little bit in a vial and throw that, but I'm worried about it, damaging the boat.
Yeah, I guess it's a good idea. Do you want to practice hand to hand?
Sure.
Cool.
I was gonna offer. I have javelins if you want me to throw them at you, but
Oh,
I
come
don't
over here,
want you to
Caelum. I
lose
need the
them.
sparring partner.
No, Arjan will hand to hand.
Cool.
Rad.
Yeah.
All right, so Caelum, you are going over to Cori to help her out as a sparring partner, and then Gwen, you and Arjan are doing hand-to-hand fisticuffs.
Yep.
Alrighty. Yeah, so...
Claws or no claws?
Whatever.
Claws.
She'll go rage out.
Excellent. All right, so roll for initiative to see who goes first in your sparring matches.
14.
Oh, good.
13.
18.
Oh. Lost track of my character sheet. There it is.
So it was 15, Arjan?
14.
14. All right. And Gwen, 13?
Mm-hmm.
Caelum got 18. What'd you get, Cori?
2.
Okay.
That was
Solid.
a 1 on the die.
All right. So, we're just going to go back and forth between the two groups. So, we're going to start with Caelum. You and Cori are doing your sparring. How would you like to start this?
Calum has the staff of the adder out. He flips it so it's the butt end, and then holds it like under his arm like a spear. And so he'll just basically charge at Cori and try to thrust into her.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
9.
You slip on the deck a little bit as you run forward.
Whoa.
Yep.
We have fun here.
But you do
Gwen isn't wearing her chain shirt, just so everyone.
Oh yeah. Why would you wear clothes as a barbarian? Don't be
Abby.
ridiculous. So Arjan, what would you like to do against Gwen?
I'll take some swipes. Will a 18 hit?
Yes, it will.
2 points of slashing. What about a 12?
12 does not hit.
All right, and offhand. Nope. That's 8.
All right, Gwen, it is your turn.
Cool. First attack. Oh, is the 13 hit?
Nope.
Okay.
You're trying to hit a 16.
12 plus 5 is 17.
Yeah.
Do 3 damage.
Cute.
Just punching him.
Yeah, she slips underneath him and like gets him in the back of the thigh.
Nice. All right, Cori, it is your turn.
I'm gonna take the dodge action on my turn. Just essentially give him disadvantage on attacks. And whilst Cori is just kind of practicing evasive maneuvers, whilst like getting her sea legs back under her, she's just going to say to Caelum, I saw something very strange last night.
Oh? What did you see last night?
We will continue this conversation next round.
Caelum, it is your turn.
Like in Olivia's quarters, and he's like swipes at her head, but probably like, God damn it, that would have hit. Hit. Yeah, he basically whiffs over her, and then he takes basically 3 big steps backwards, 15 feet.
Well, no, not in Oliviette's quarters. I mean, I was in Oliviette's quarters, duck. But what I saw was out in the storm. Perry.
Okay.
Are we playing the pronoun game now, or like, do I have to keep asking what you saw out there?
Arjan, it is your turn.
3 more swipes. What about 13?
Mm-hmm.
3 points of slashing.
Okay.
And you're raging, right?
Yes.
So all this is half damage.
Yeah. I know. I've been a barbarian long enough. Yeah.
For 2 slashing.
Cool.
Offhand. Did I do offhand? No.
I'm sorry.
23.
No.
It's too high.
And offhand is just without the damage modifier, right?
Yeah.
4.
4. Okay.
All right, Gwen.
All right. Gwen's gonna do her 2 attacks. But if you're gonna fight me, you gotta hit harder. Ooh. 14.
That does not hit.
Oh shit!
Gone forever.
I know I can't move.
Goodbye.
17 plus 5, 22.
Yep.
So 5 damage on that one.
Okay.
You move really fast, but you're not really hitting very hard.
I mean, do you want me to like light my claws?
No, I want you to hit me hard. Like, put some muscle behind it, dude. I fought grandmas who hit better than you.
I mean, there are some very tough grandmas out there.
That's true.
All right, Cori, is your turn. Yeah.
Is it? All right. Yeah. Cool. That's right. Because yes. Cori is going to spend her turn dodging again. And mostly she's doing like a bunch of twirls and working on her footwork. Have you ever heard of some sort of bird made of lightning?
Nature check?
This would be nature or arcana.
Arcana check.
That makes a wizard very happy.
18.
So you've heard rumors of creatures like these. They are called arclight phoenixes. Basically, these creatures emerge whenever there is a incredible lightning storm that's centered on one particular place. And then after its creation, it becomes almost like a living version of this storm that then travels up and along coastlines. They're not common in the least. They're actually more of a rare kind of sighting, but they do exist.
Sounds like you saw an Arclight Phoenix. They are basically born in a storm and take it with them wherever they fly.
Parry, spin, thrust.
Parry, thrust.
Okay.
Parry, thrust. That episode doesn't end well.
No, it doesn't.
Your turn.
That's bad. Caelum runs forward again and then like just bashes her with his shield. 18?
15?
18.
18? If I had been wearing my old armor, then yes, but no. What the number you're looking for is 19.
Okay. What? Get out of here. So I guess they touch shields and he like rolls to the side and continues running.
Okay. Arja.
I'm gonna take a couple more TX. 10. 7. 7.
And just is kind of like moving off to the side. Dude, you're not even trying. Come on.
Hand-to-hand combat really isn't my thing. But I'm trying. I'm trying my best.
All right.
How do you hit so well?
Because I trained for it. And then she's going to try and grapple him.
Okay.
16.
6.
Woo!
He's super grappled.
So she like, as she says that, she like hops off the ground. She hops off your knee. jumps, grabs your arm, and pulls it around your back, and then kicks down your right knee so that you like fall down to the ground. And she's got your arm just pulled behind your back, and she's like trying to push your head down. Come on, dude, give me a challenge.
All right.
How challenging are you trying to get?
Get angry. And she like slams his head down into the ground with her second attack.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Do I roll for that if I haven't grappled? Yeah, I roll.
You roll with advantage. Yeah, you roll just plain. His speed is reduced to 0.
It was a 15. It's now a 12.
12 does not hit. So he's able to kind of just maintain his neck muscle strengths.
Yeah.
All right. Cori.
I'm going to attempt a shove attack, which means that you need to counter this with an athletics check. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure shoves work exactly like grapples.
Yep.
Yeah.
13.
Dirty 20.
Nice. All right, so I imagine Cori goes in, she sweeps the leg Johnny, and she like tries to trip him, but he just jumps over it.
Okay.
And as she spins back up to her feet, she's like, "Do you think it's going to be a danger to us? If it brings the storm with us, then that could potentially be really bad."
For you, yeah, but it flies up and down the coastline, so I think we might have missed it.
No boat may mean death for me quicker than the rest of you, but it still means death.
And it's at that point that you guys hear a bell ringing. And when you look over, Oliviette and Dalcor have prepared food for all of the crewmen's lunch. So that way you guys are actually able to go over and have a nice short rest while you enjoy a nice hearty meal after a quick foray into team on team combat.
Gwen is not going to let Arjan up until he says uncle.
He's not gonna say it.
She's just got his head down. Say it!
No.
Yield!
This could go on for a while. They're both relentlessly stubborn.
Yeah. Oh. So, I did want to try out a new spell.
Oh?
Oh.
Oh.
What?
Overcharge!
No.
Caelum
Turns.
explodes.
Hey, Oliviette,
Yes?
can I borrow some of your time?
I don't see why not. Why?
Okay. Stand over next to Cori.
She raises an eyebrow at you and goes over and stands next to Cori.
Okay, and he makes a circle with his hands, and he like looks into it, and he'll cast what's the spell called? I think it's called Photograph.
Portrait?
Portrait.
Oh, that's a
Look at this photograph.
Look at this graph.
What gem
And
are you
you'll
using?
Oh, do I need a gem?
You do.
Ooh, fuck. I'm not using that because I don't got no gems. I did not look at the spell components for that.
You
They're
have
just
one
standing
gem.
next to each other.
I do have one gem, but that's for another thing. Redacted. Did not know. I don't need Olivia's time.
All right. And as you are, as you're all kind of standing around, enjoying this very nice lunch, I'd like for you all to make perception checks.
That's when the Kraken attacks.
Show him what's. Oh, Jesus Christ, kill him.
6.
Faces in the deck, that's why.
That's
5.
one letter off.
I have Olivia standing next to me. What can I say?
16.
25.
Okay, so Gwen and Caelum. As Caelum, as you like call Olivia over next to Cori and like, okay, I'm gonna try out a new spell, and then you think about it for a little bit and realize you don't have your crystal. You are looking down, thinking about what you could use as a replacement. And Gwen, you currently, you and Arjan have just been stuck in this grapple for quite a bit of time as you refuse to relent until he says uncle. And you're looking down at the ground as well. The sun is high overhead, but Gwen and Caelum, you guys see shadows actually moving across the deck. And they look like the shadows from birds that are flying overhead. But as you are paying attention to them, you watch as these circling shadows end up getting larger and larger and larger. The two of you look up and see before anyone else does that in the sky, kind of using the sun to block out their visage, are 8 flighted figures. And you see one of them raise his hand up and throw something down towards the direction of the deck of the ship. And you watch as this warhammer sails through the sky, and as it hits against the deck, I'm going to need everybody to make dexterity saving throws as it explodes in a ball of fire.
I am currently prone.
You are.
Is that a disadvantage?
Yes, it will be.
Can I use my move to throw him out of the way?
You can use, if you would like to throw him out of the way, I will say that your check will be made at disadvantage. You were able to see what was happening, so your danger sense will kick in, so you'll roll flat. And then Arjan, you will roll flat as well as Gwen kicks you out of the way in this moment.
I believe that was a 14 then.
What is this?
This is a dex save.
I got a 10.
Okay. So
Natural 20.
10, nat 20. Arjan?
15.
14.
14, and Caelum, you got 15?
Yep.
All right, so... sorry, Gwen, what was yours one last time?
10.
Okay. So Gwen, Arjan, and Caelum, you are all going to be taking 19 points of fire damage. Cori, you are going to be taking 8
It's a
points.
spell.
It is not a spell.
Fuck. Sorry.
And the 4 of you see as the flames engulf your ship. Luckily, because of the rain, your ship is not actually at risk for catching fire during this time. But you watch as Bristlebeak, Calder, Malk, Shu, and Tyven, 6 of the members of your crew end up just getting completely destroyed because of these flames. They are just incinerated.
What the fuck?
And that is when you see these figures then steadily lowering themselves down with their wings flapping onto the deck of the ship. And you watch as this much larger avian individual extends his hand outward, and almost like a ball of flames that appear in his hand, you watch as it extends out and then turns to almost like a magma style cracking as a warhammer is then summoned in this creature's hand. And you hear the voices of these other avian folk say, "Bend the knee! Bend the knee to the breaker himself!" And at that, you see this individual then flying above and says, "Sunbeak demands tribute from all of you!" Coming out of this large avian beak. What would you guys like to do?
I'm rolling for initiative.
Okay.
Did he say Sunbeak?
He did.
Is he flying?
He
He's
is.
floating
There are
above us?
8
Oh,
flying figures above you.
How high?
At this point, it is... They're roughly 45 feet up.
Okay.
Oh, come on, computer.
Yeah, initiative sounds like a good idea at this point.
Initiative does seem like a solid idea. So, Arjan.
I got a 16.
Okay. Gwen.
15.
And that's with your advantage?
Yes, it is.
Okie dokie. Caelum.
13.
And Cori.
19.
Okay. So, Cori, you are going to be going first. Actually, sorry. I forgot to count her into initiative. Oliviette is going to be going first. And she is going to take stock of the crewmen that she has, and quickly begin directing the remaining few to go under the deck, and if anything happens, fight for their lives. And then she will pull out her rapier, and she is going to cast a fairy fire spell, and actually illuminate 4 of these flying creatures. And you see that she is just kind of back to back with you, Cori, and calls out to this figure, Sunbeak, and says, "I have never surrendered my ship before, and I don't plan on starting today, shitbirds. So why don't you come down here and fight me like a real avian?" And
Caelum starts laughing.
That's right. Fuck.
So that is going to be it for her turn. Cori, what would you like to do?
Cori gets a little nervous when Oliviette says that, and she steps in front of her and says, "And when she says fight you, I mean fight me." And I'm gonna cast compel. Oh wait, no, that's 30 feet. God damn it. Yeah, instead of doing that, I'm going to cast Divine Favor on myself as a bonus action, which will give me extra damage on my attacks later. And then I usually get more time to think about what I'm going to do. I cast Command.
Is Divine Favor a cantrip?
Divine Favor is a bonus action. Oh, you can't cast more than one spell per turn, can you?
Unless it is a leveled spell and a cantrip.
All right, then I'm going to hold my action to attack whoever comes near.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up is Arjan.
So I know we're in a sort of like limbo state here. Do I have access to my cleric stuff?
Yes.
Cool.
Do you believe you have access to your cleric things? Does Arjan believe?
Arjan wouldn't know. Do I have access to my crossbow?
Yes, you do.
We were just up here doing hand-to-hand.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys have access to all of your gear. As I'm assuming, as all adventurers, it is never more than a quick grip away.
Okay. He is going to, like, I guess, run over to his bag and just get his crossbow.
As the guy was monologuing, could Caelum shoot Arjan a glance? Like, he's gonna guiding bolt this motherfucker, so hold off.
Okay. Good
Sure.
to know. I'm gonna light my crossbow and hold on. I need to figure out how much damage I take and hold my action until Caelum goes, at which point I would like to I want to attack twice the person Caelum guiding bolts.
Okay. Sounds good. So, next up is Gwen.
Gwen is going to grab into her bag and get out. Said they're how far away? 60 feet?
They're 45 feet.
45 feet? Gwen is going to run over and she's gonna grab her axe, the runt axe, and then is she still raging?
She would not be from earlier. She would have used a rage.
Okay. She would. She's gonna climb the mast, as far as she can, and then she's going to hold her action, and wait for them to come in range, and she's gonna jump on them.
Okay.
And attack them.
All right, sounds good. Make an athletics check to climb up the mast.
Okay.
To climb the mainsail.
That's an advantage, right? Because I'm raging. Is
Yes.
that what that is? Yeah.
Yar.
Yar. Athletics. That is a 20. That is an 18.
Oh, yeah. No, you managed to climb up about 15 feet or so onto this, and you're just perched, ready to go. And it is at this point that Sunbeak Bowbreaker, is going to then begin his descent downward onto the ship. And he is now about 15 feet above the deck, and he looks over towards... he sees Cori, he sees Arjan, he sees Gwen perched up, and then he sees Caelum. And he is going to call out to the other avian folk in the language of the bird people. So you guys are not really privy as to what he is saying. But then you see that he kind of cocks his arms back, and as he does so, it looks like there is just this reddish glow that starts in his chest, and you see it actually come up his throat, and he opens up his beak as a beam of fire streaks out of it. So Cori, I am going to need you, I believe I actually just make an attack against you. I do.
Is this a spell effect?
It is not.
Cool.
That's a nat 1, so don't worry. And then, seeing as how the first blast did not hit, he's going to then, his feathers then kind of poof up even more, and he is going to try and get a second one against you. Does a 23 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right, so that is going to be for 13 points of fire damage.
All right.
All right, so next up is Caelum.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, your screen is frozen. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You're back.
Apparently my internet's hecka unstable. So does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit.
Cool. He's taking 32 points of lightning damage,
Okay.
and the next attack gets advantage on him.
So, when you hit this guy, you watch as the electricity hits against him, and he just seems to flex and actually kind of brush some of that energy out. Kind of flex out of his wings, as it looks like it does not deal nearly as much damage as you thought that it was going to. Arjan, you were holding your action until Caelum hit with a guiding volt.
Yeah, that was a weird flex, but okay. Thank you. Yeah, I would like to shoot so many times. That so many being 2. Do I have advantage?
You do, on the first hit.
Cool. Natural 20.
Okay.
18. Okay, that'd be really cool if I had double nats. Cool. Fuck, what are my dice?
What about your second attack?
This is for the first one.
Okay.
Okay, that's D10. That's not a D10. This is a D10. 14 points of piercing damage. 10 points of fire damage on the first attack.
Okay. So it is actually the fire damage that does not look like it is doing as much as you had initially thought.
Okay. I don't think this is going to hit 11.
An 11 does not hit.
Is he within range of Gwen now?
He is not. He's still 15 feet up. Gwen doesn't exactly have the vertical angle to jump down. However, it is up to the rest of these bird folk. So 3 of them are actually going to come down and start trying to harry against Cori and Oliviette. And the other 4 are going to fly over towards you, Caelum, and they are going to begin trying to attack you.
I have a held action.
You do.
So when you hold your action, do you get both your attacks?
I say yes.
Because Arjan got his on a hold.
Yes.
If not, I did that wrong.
Okay. Well, the first one's a 10, so I'm thinking that's probably not going to hit.
A 10 does not hit.
All right, here comes the second one. That one's a 12, so that probably doesn't hit either.
A 12 just hits.
Woo! Alrighty. I'll drop a smite on this. What the hey? What the hey? They don't happen to be fade or undead, do they?
Nope. Big ass
I
birds.
figured not, but you know, just gotta make sure. Here comes damage.
Okay.
All right, so 7 slashing damage. Oh wait, no, hold on. That's wrong. 14 slashing damage, and then 12 radiant damage.
Oh. Like a hot knife through butter does this bird get cut. So you only have 2 that are on you.
Okay.
And they are going to try and shove you.
No!
So one of them gets a 10.
A 10 is not going to do it. I rolled an 11.
And the second one is going to try and shove as well with a 3.
Oh, not today, sir. Not today. 23.
Okay.
Boom, Mosakra.
And then, Caelum, you have 4 on you as well. Gwen, you see that there are currently 4 of these bird folk that are on Caelum. 2 of them are on Cori. You are able to jump on either group. Which group would you like to jump on?
Do I see that the ones who are trying to attack Cori are trying to push her overboard or just push her?
At this point, it looks like they are just trying to push her, but you have a... Seeing people in armor go into the water is something that you are fairly certain is what they are trying to do.
Okay. I will jump on that group then.
Okay.
What? Should I roll something?
Make an attack roll.
Okay. I will reckless attack them.
This seems pretty fucking reckless, so yes.
Makes sense. Ooh, that's good. That's a 22.
22 hits.
All right. Sorry, I'm just slowly getting to my stuff because kittens. Oh no, I gave them my D12. Okay. That's 12 damage on the first hit.
Okay, and you were attacking the group that was on Cori or the group that was on Caelum?
The group that was on Cori.
Okay.
Which ones have fairy fire on them right now?
The ones that have fairy fire on them right now are the was one that you destroyed.
Cool.
And then 3 of the others are on Caelum that have it as well.
All right, just keeping track.
Yep.
And then for my second attack.
And he's gone again.
Oh no.
Keep going.
It's a 16.
Okay, 16 hits. Roll for damage.
That's a 15 damage.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you managed to cut this guy down as well. So, next up is going to be these 4 chums. But, seeing as how RJ is not here to make the rolls himself, I think we are going to go to our break early, and hopefully his internet will come back. And then when he does, we are going to have him make some strength checks. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has decided to stop by and enjoy. It's almost been a year since we started doing this, so like it makes sense that we would encounter some year-old hiccups. who's really directing this show? Is it me or is it the Twitch witch? But we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or go to bit.ly/adventure merch to pick up a sweet piece of gear. Or, hey, if you're watching this as an audio cast or you're listening to this as a VOD, if you're watching the audio cast or listening to the VOD, feel free to leave a review. Tell us what we can do better. I already know a few things from this session that I can do better, such as be prepared. Being prepared is important. But 5 minutes, I'll be super prepared. So don't go no place. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. I hope everything's
Steven,
What is this?
we must ask you a question.
Oh, God damn it. What is it?
What do you call it when a cleric, a paladin, and a fighter all get into a relationship? A polyamory!
I love you both so much. That's why I'm not looking at you.
Wouldn't it be a smith, a leatherworker, and a tailor?
God fucking damn it. I'm proud of all of you.
Poly armor.
For all you audiocast listeners, they both had mustaches. Both of them. It was great. So, where we last left
I'm
off.
back.
Caelum.
Again? What?
I don't believe you. Roll.
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm gonna
Hold
need
on.
you. Okay. If that's the case, we're gonna
I
really.
just popped. Yeah, hold on. Give me a second.
We're gonna test this theory out. And away he goes. He's dead. Shadow Man got him. The spookiest. So,
The Shadow Man.
the Shadow. I am going to roll my checks. And hey!
I just had to refresh my MAC address.
Oh, gross. I'm sorry. So, I'm going to need you to make a set of strength checks for me.
Oh, boy.
You were going
4,
to
I'm
be
guessing?
4, yes. That's a natural 20 on the first
Do we
one.
get,
That's a 1.
So you
Does he
need strength
benefit
or
from a-
dex.
does he benefit from a paladin thingy?
The aura is for saves, not for skill checks.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the second is a 3 against you.
14.
Okay. Third is a 14.
8.
Okay, so Caelum, you are on the ledge of the ship, and the last bird is going to attempt to shove you as well.
Gwen is going to use her spirit shield. That does against damage, though.
Yeah, this isn't. They are not damaging him.
Oh.
It got a 7.
Suck a dick 16.
Okay, so Caelum, you managed to fight your way off of these birds that are currently trying to force you into the water. Next up is Oliviette, and she is going to stab out against one of these bird folk. And she's most certainly going to hit. And because she is within an ally, she gets a decent number of sneak attack die as well. For more than enough to deal with that bird. And she just, almost like a Zorro-like strike, is just able to quickly get this Aarakocra out of the way. Next up is going to be Arjan. And you see that there are 4 of these bird folk that are trying to push Caelum into the water. And then Sunbeak is currently about 15 feet off the ground. And is hovering above. This like magma textured warhammer still in its hand.
Okay. I would like to hex for my bonus action hex. Are there still ones on Cori?
No, all of the ones on Cori have all been slain very, very quickly.
Okay. I'll go after the big guy then. I'll hex him and give him disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay.
And make some attacks. 13.
A 13 does not hit.
What about? No.
Okay. Yeah, so as you take 2 shots with your crossbow at him, he manages to just kind of nimbly dodge out of the way, and the second crossbow bolt that's coming towards him, you actually see his wing shoot out in front of him and just knock it down before it can even reach the larger of his person. Next up is going to be Gwen.
All the people are off.
Of
Cori
Cori,
right now?
yes.
Get to the middle of the ship, you idiot! She's gonna run towards Caelum and try and attack.
Can I point to the big guy with the warhammer that fucked us up last time?
I'm more concerned about Caelum at this point, and I can't reach him. So like, I'm small.
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 So I would like to attack the 2 gents that are. There's 4 of them.
Yes, there are currently 4.
Gwen's gonna slide under one of them and try to attack him in the balls.
Nice!
She's gonna recklessly attack him in the balls. That's a 24.
Oh, that'll hit.
Yeah.
At least 3 of them have fairy fire on them.
Okay, so they're at advantage anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to roll. That's 15 damage. And then on the second, I'll attack a different one too.
Okay.
That one didn't die, did he?
How much damage did you deal?
15.
No, he does not. He looks incredibly injured, though.
Okay. She's going to attack a different one. Still fairy fired, hopefully. That's a 16 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then, oh, that's max damage. 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. This one also looks incredibly injured. Both of them seem like they are on the tail end of their lifespan.
Gwen is going to then flex as she sweeps through, and she's going to have Grayskull come out, and she's just going to say, "By the power of Grayskull, you will not defeat us." And her eyes just glow red.
Oh, shit. Okay. So then next up is Sunbeak. And he is going to land onto the deck with a mighty thud. And he looks over at Oliviette, and he looks over at Cori, and then he looks at the grouping of the others on the sides. And he's actually going to go for Cori again, seeing as how you are the most heavily armored out of all of these individuals. And he is going to make some attack rolls.
Please do.
So the first attack does not hit because a 5 on the die is bad. Okay. And then the second hit, he does not have enough because you said your AC is 19 now. So he goes to swing down with this warhammer several times, but each time you manage to just nimbly dodge out of the way, having recovered your footwork earlier in the day when sparring up against Caelum.
Practiced.
Then next up is going to be Caelum. You have 4 birds on you. 2 of them look incredibly injured, and then 2 more of them look fine.
Still laughing, Caelum sinks into the shadows, slides into the middle of the ship, pops out Raven Regalia form, and I'm going to cast my new spell. I'm casting Valraven Nacht, which is magic missile, but spears.
Excellent.
And I'm going to target 2 of the injured ones and one of the uninjured ones near Gwen.
Okay.
So, 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay. And that's on all of them?
No, because it's magic
got
missile,
it.
so I have
All right, so the first one goes down.
to, 4 points of piercing damage.
Second one goes down.
And then 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay. That one is It looks upset, but not dead. They are more confused as to how you managed to sift through a shadow and appear behind them.
Who is this new foe?
And for the remaining of you, all looking at Caelum, his mask still has that fractured crack on it. Next up is going to be them Boyds. The two of the initial front that came with that are left, and seeing as how Gwen is right there on them, they are going to try and attack her, as she is near enough to them that they want to do their best to give you a swipe.
Cool.
Does a 10 hit?
No.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
Alrighty, so they are going to strike out with their talon against you and deal 5 points of slashing damage.
So the talon goes across Gwen's shoulder face.
Wherever you want.
Cool. Goes across her shoulder, and it like barely just sinks in a little bit, and she just kind of looks at it, rubs it, licks it. That all you got, bitch?
And it just looks at you like, kind of like, seeing your haughty attitude just gives it like this like, and kind of looks at you very quizzically. And with a, while standing next to you, Cori, Olivia is going to try and strike out against Sunbeak. And she rolls a nat 1 on her hit. So that is a no-go from her. But she is currently just trying to, like, poke out from behind you and then pops back, just using her mobility to her advantage. Next up, Cori, what would you like to do?
I'm going to attack Sunbeak. Of course.
Okay.
A 10 probably doesn't hit him.
It does not.
All right, second attack. All right, even worse.
Okay.
Those don't hit. I can do something as a bonus action, though. It's going to require me to drop my previous spell, though. I'm going to do Compelled Duel on Sunbeak.
Okay. What does he have to do for that?
He has to save a Wisdom save.
You got a 4. Not the smartest bird.
Excellent. All right. You can attempt to compel a creature to a duel. One creature you see must save throw. Creature is drawn to you by your divine demand for the duration. It has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you and must make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. If it succeeds on this saving throw, the spell doesn't restrict the target's movement.
Okay. So yeah, it is.
Spell ends if I attack another creature.
Okay. It is feeling very compelled to strike you. I mean, it already was before, but even more so now.
Yeah.
All right. Arjan, you are next.
First off, I would like to invoke the Blood Curse of the March and amplify it on Sunbeam.
Okay.
I will be taking 5 points of damage, so you just see his nosebleed as his crossbow flares up just a little bit more. And then I would like to make an attack.
Do it.
Well, 16 hit.
No, it does not.
Fuck me. What about an 18?
An 18?
No, it's another 16.
Yeah, 16 does not hit. All right, so both of your bolts end up going wide as you're trying to get a good target on this large avian form, but seeing Olivia and Cori kind of dancing around it makes you take some shots that you know probably won't hit, but you don't want to be hitting your friends at the same time. Gwen, it is your turn.
All right, Gwen is gonna
just these two that are on you currently.
Yep, she's going to kind of like spin her axe in her hand, and she is going to attack the one who's already been hit by Caelum. Is he fairy fired?
Yes.
Okay. Fairy fire from dusk till dawn. That's that's 21 to hit.
Okay, 21 will hit. Roll for damage.
I'm gonna use my savage attacker. That was a 7. I'll take the 7. So 7 plus 4 is 11 damage on that one.
Okay. Also drops.
And then she's gonna spin her axe again, and she's gonna be like, "Last chance, dude. You ready to get the fuck out of here? Or you wanna die?" All right, cool. Still attacking.
Okay.
Is he?
Just shrieks back at you.
Yeah. Is he fairy fired?
This last one is not. You have killed all of the other fairy fired ones.
Cool. Reckless attack. That is a 19.
19 will do it.
Yeah.
Roll for damage.
Cool. That is 10 damage on that one.
Okay. It looks very injured, but looks like it still has a fighting spirit that lies within it. Next up, Sunbeak. And he is still going to be trying to strike out against you, Cori, as you have compelled him. You've made a very compelling argument as to who he should hit.
His first one's going to be a 5.
Okay. Sounds good.
He hits.
And the second is going to be a 23 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, so that is going to be min damage of 6.
Gwen is going to use her, because she hasn't been able to use it yet, her the thing, spirit shield. Yeah. So she is going to negate 10 damage from that.
Wow.
Okay. Well, it's all negated. He was only able to do 6. I don't know. What does it look like?
Wing or who's the
Cori.
character? Cori. He's coming down with his maul, right?
Yes. His warhammer, single-handed.
Coming down with his maul, and you kind of like brace for an impact, and nothing happens, and you open your eyes, and you just see a gray skull with the runt axe holding it in place, and in front of him is this spiritual guide thing, and then it just kind of and shifts away.
Cori blushes a little.
All right. So then next up, Caelum.
Caelum is going to, in his regalia form, raise a hand and cast Hold Person.
Bro.
Okay.
Wisdom save 14.
So got a 16.
Oof. Okay. A bonus action, Snakehead comes out as the armor dissipates.
Okay. Sounds good. Then next up is Oliviette, and she is going to continue trying to stab out against him. She does not hit, which is great. So then next up is Cori.
So I realized that compelled duel was a bad idea, but nobody has hurt him so far, so it doesn't matter.
Nope.
I attack him.
Okay.
14.
14 does not hit.
Here comes another attack. Oh, even worse. Nothing happens.
Oh, you guys are locked in Mortal Kombat.
We're having a bad time. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's it.
Arjan, it is your turn.
Anything? No. No, I will not be. Oh. I will not be using Obliters.
Okay.
I'm gonna attack. Well, 25 fucking hit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. For shit.
Ew.
10 points of piercing damage, 5 points of fire damage for the first attack.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Okay. Sounds good. Gwen, it is your turn.
All right. The dude in front of me is still alive, right?
Yes, he's looking incredibly injured.
Yeah, she's gonna reckless attack that bitch. That is a 17. Yeah.
Okay.
Math.
A 17 will hit. Roll for damage.
All right. That is crooked. Cocked is the word. Boom! Max damage. 16 damage on that one.
All right. He drops quickly as well. So now the only avian folk that is standing on the deck of the ship is Sunbeak.
I would like to move and attack him.
Do it.
I would like to grapple him.
Okay. Sounds good.
He has disadvantage on strength checks from the hex,
Because hex.
which I forgot to do hex damage.
He was going to be doing dexterity as an athletics, as he is a much better flighty boy.
21.
So he had also gotten a 21.
What do we do? Wait, who wins in that? There's a rule for
Nobody
that.
wins.
Nothing happens.
She
Yep.
jumps on him and just slides down his waist. The
The
feathers.
situation remains unchanged.
All right. So next up is Sunbeak. And because he has been compelled to do so, he is going to keep trying to bring the hurt on Cori.
Do it.
So that is going to be a 23 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. So that is going to be for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's
like
a
to-
magical weapon, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to use my reaction.
Do.
Again?
Why not? I mean, you're only getting hit. Not that I wouldn't. 9.
Okay.
Reduce it by 9.
So all is reduced once again.
Sorry.
Guys,
Sorry,
are we-
DM.
No, I'm happy about this. Are we actually acting as a cohesive unit? Oh my gosh!
Absolute
gonna-
unit.
The thing is, just let Gwen do her thing. You guys take on the big bads. She'll take down everyone else while protecting you, and we got it. Arshan's got the flying ones. It's we got it.
Gets a 25 to hit.
Yes.
All right, so that is going to be for 12 points of damage.
All right.
I'm gonna use my reaction.
Are you? Is this a
No,
joke?
I don't have anything. I'm
I
sorry.
need to know whether or not to take
Is
away
this
hit
a joke
points.
to you people?
Just a little bit.
Sunbeak is dying.
He murdered 6 people.
Sunbeak is fine.
All right.
He did murder people.
Next up is Caelum.
He's gonna slam the butt end of his staff into the ground and cast Bliss at 3rd level, so that covers everyone. So everyone gets to roll their d4s, including Olivia.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my movement to get behind him.
My Caelum blessed die.
Okay. So
Yes, it.
we got Caelum. Next up is Olivia at the top of the round. And she is going to try and stab out. And the blessed eye is for the attack roll?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's attack and saves.
Why is she like
Yeah.
this? Why now?
Attack rolls and saving throws until the spell ends.
Yeah, she got a total of 15 to hit, which is not going to be enough. She's kind of like, she's thinking about it, like, why am I so bad at this? But you see that as her bonus action, she is actually going to bring a hand down across the length of her rapier, and you see that silver flames actually wreath across from it. She is going to be casting a branding smite on her weapon. Next up, Cori.
All right. This time with blessed. Ooh, hoo hoo hoo. That might. 19 and 26.
That'll hit. Roll for damage.
I freaking thought so. Okay.
About time.
He's gonna get a smite as well. One of the big ones, just for you, Sunbeak. All right. So that's gonna be
in here.
10 slashing damage,
And
then 17 smite damage.
17 smite damage?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. Okay.
Yeah, and then I get my second attack.
Yes.
A 17 doesn't hit.
17 does not.
Cool. All right.
All
That
right.
is my turn.
Arjan.
How hurts everybody?
I have 17 hit points.
I'm at 36.
Okay. For some reason, the D&D Beyond overlay hasn't been updating for me.
It's all right. We'll just cock it up to this. Do the Twitch. Chalk it up.
Arjan notices that Cori's pretty hurt, so he's just gonna look real worried about it. And I'm thinking just like as he's like loading up his next crossbow bolt, he like brushes his hand across his coin, and it's just a little bit of a glimmer in it. And then he looks over at Cori and casts Healing Word.
Ooh.
So not only will you regain... Well, no, let's do this. Let's do this one. 6 hit points. Cori, make an attack. As I use my my voice of authority.
I love that our character with 9 charisma has the voice of authority.
It's like, Cori.
It's a 17. We already know that doesn't hit.
Yeah, that does not.
Okay. Well, I tried.
All right.
So Arjan's going to make his attacks. 12.
Nope.
What's place?
It was 7 plus 5 plus 4. 16. That's
16 does not hit. No. All right, Gwen. This is your turn. You're right up on this big old birdman.
Yeah, let's try for grapple again.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Got a 14.
I'm just so sweaty. It's stuck to my hand.
Gross.
Yeah, that's not great. That's a 14.
Okay, so you guys meet once again.
Oh my gosh. All right, then I'll just attack him. Then Fofo.
Okay.
And okay, wait.
You can forego one of your attacks to do the grapple, so you still have one.
Is it a? Would that be considered my? No, this would be my first attack, right? So I could reckless this one.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say yes.
Oh, jeez, that's not Rocco. No, do not go on Rocco. That okay. All right, that's fine. That is a 13.
Okay. 13 does not hit.
Okay.
He is. All right. So next up is Sunbeak, who must continue trying to strike out against Cori because of the compelled duel. First hit is going to be a 24 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. And then that is going to be for 15 points of damage.
Ouch. Lots of ouch. Very ouch.
And then the second hit is going to be 28.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. And that is going to be for 13 points of damage.
Cori is down.
I would like to use a reaction.
I'm sure you would.
I would also like to use a reaction.
Okay. So there was 15 points of damage coming in for Gwen.
9.
All right, so Cori, you only take 6. Does that still put you down?
Instead of the 15.
Instead of the 15. How many did I have before I actually hit the button?
I think you would have 2 left. If you had 17 before I healed you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
I'm at 2.
No, I did that wrong.
Okay.
I think you would still be down.
You guys are counting on me to actually remember
Okay.
numbers, and I
we'll say
have like basically the equivalent of number dyslexia.
we will say for this, Cori, you have been knocked unconscious by this, but Arjan, you have a reaction that you would like to use, correct?
I do. I would like to do the same damn thing that I did to Gwen last time, which is sort of lose control as I use my Blood Curse of the Fallen Puppet. Cori, make an attack
I will.
Fight for me.
with +2 to hit.
With +2, that's not gonna help. Not with these rolls. 8 plus 17, 15. It's not gonna do it.
Nope. That it will not. All right.
Oh, I'm a shit warlord.
Cori don't like following Tarleon's rules.
Gwen's gonna see this and just be like, "Hey, you're a hypocrite."
All right. Caelum.
And Cori goes down.
Okay, hold on. I need the dice roller for this shit. How much am I doing?
What are you doing, Caelum?
You see the energy crackle in his eyes. You see the energy crackle in his eyes. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm overcharging.
Okay.
Nice voice crack, bro.
Yeah. No, it was perfect timing for that.
Cool. Cori, you heal 18. And that's... Where's my D100? 71.
Okay. So with a 71, Caelum, you gain resistance to all damage for the next minute.
Come at me, bro!
And this time, the shadowy hoplite armor that you normally get comes back on, even though you haven't transported yourself anywhere.
Oh.
And it looks like it is just not going to go. It seems much more tangible than it has been previously.
So it's more like, come at me, bro.
Yes. So,
Cori, and let him
Cori,
go
you
first.
have been healed.
Past 6 seconds. Is this me? Am I back?
No, it is Oliviette's turn, and she is going to try
Okay,
and
go,
stab
Oliviette.
out. Man, it's a I would say I need to choose a different dice, but I have been rotating trying to get her to hit once, and it's not happening. So that's not good for her. But Cori, it is your turn.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and use the same dice. Ugh. Even though it's not been serving me super well. Oh, that's a little better. Thank you, dice. 28 to hit.
Whew, that'll hit.
All right, here comes the damage. Smite at 2nd level. That's gonna be 13 slashing damage, and then 18 radiant damage.
Okay. He's looking incredibly injured.
I should hope so. So am I, but that's fine. End turn.
Okay. So next up, Arjan.
I'm real mad. I'm real mad about all this. Yeah, I'll just attack. That's all. Fuck you. Okay. 24 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit. Roll for damage.
First one was it.
Don't forget your hex.
I'm not forgetting my hex.
Okay.
Okay. 7 points of piercing damage. 5 points of fire damage. 5 points of necrotic damage.
All right. What does it look like when Arjan gets this last hit?
Yeah, he's been dipping into a little bit of cleric, so the coin's just shining a little bit, and his eyes are just like burning. He's just like firing one bolt after another. None of them are hitting. He's trying to raise people, get people to attack. It's just not working. So he's just like, just fucking die. And one more bolt goes through, and like this guy was using like fire effects, right?
Yes.
Like its maw was on fire. He's been shooting fire out of his mouth. So sort of spoilers. You know how when a certain thing in Game of Thrones gets hit and it just like bursts into fire? It's
Yes.
sort of like that. Or it's just like fire coming out from wherever he's making it.
Okay.
But it all turns into the same like yellow fire that Arjan uses for its blood right.
Yeah, and this creature just begins to shriek out as this yellow carmine fire just completely envelops him with a very nice, satisfying hissing noise as the air around you begins to smell more and more like fried chicken as this large avian folk is just incinerated in front of you. And you see he drops the warhammer that he had in his hands down onto the ground as his body just collapses. You guys are no longer in combat. All of the avian folk have been dealt with. And Caelum, you have this armor on you for the next minute or so.
Guys.
Gwen picks up the hammer. Guys, look what I've... Caelum, why are you...
I'm gonna divine sense him whilst his armor's up.
Okay.
Detect good and evil. Celestial fiend, undead, fae.
Evil, yes.
Evil.
The detect good and evil doesn't actually detect alignments. It just is a broad term used for the creatures that are found within the good evil spectrum.
Sure.
You get a bit of celestial.
Huh. I'm gonna look over at Arjan, just get a get a feel on what's going on with him.
Well, there's definitely a lot of blood coming out of his nose just because he did amplify both of his blood curses. And like he looks pretty hurt or like pretty scorched from the fire.
Okay.
Nothing more than that.
Oliviette is going to run downstairs and see what state her crewmen are currently in, just kind of leaving you guys up top.
So who died?
Like
Yeah,
all
well-
the crew.
Yeah. Like 6 people, right?
Did the kobolds die?
Yes.
3 out of 4 of the kobolds died.
No!
Yep. Freaking
Yes.
killed our kobolds.
It was, and looking around the deck of the ship, you guys are able to identify that it was the first mate, the human Alvar Dalcor, the rigger of the ship, Bristlebeak the Kanku, the
How dare you?
other human Calder who was a bosun on the
I
ship.
don't care.
And also the 3 kobolds, Malk, Shu, and Tyven,
No.
leaving Gurn as the surviving kobold.
Gwen is going to continue her rage, and she is going to go and start plucking the feathers of the main bad guy.
On fire.
Yeah. Coriander's going to like grab her her collarbone and like snap it back into place and cast on lay on hands.
I'm gonna put my hand on Arjan and cast Cure Wounds. I don't know how long this is gonna last.
And as you say that, that's around with the time that the minute just dissipates.
Oh, I guess that's how long that lasts.
That was really scary. What was that?
I might have done the thing I was told not to do unless emergency situations require it.
I mean, it was sort of an emergency, I guess. This is becoming a habit.
Yes. 11 to Arjan.
Okay.
And Caelum's gonna walk over to the bodies of the crew members and just like start slowly dragging them into one place.
Okay. Gwen, make a survival or a investigation check.
It's not quite the other way. +3 is survival, so an 8.
Okay, you manage to find 2 feathers that are not completely scorched.
Cool. I'm still plucking him.
Yep.
Can I like start searching the bodies to see if there's like any sort of identification of like who these people were? We
Of the
would've
avian
heard-
folk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make a perception check. Or 20? Okay. So as you look around and you are investigating around on these bodies, you remember that the first time that you guys came to the island, when you were still relatively close to the shores of Marysville, you remember that you were accosted by avian folk the first time that you came out here. And then after you had accepted some quests from Agatha back when she was still your ally, or at least less animositous, she had told you about a group of bird folk that lived in the islands around Arasthk who called themselves the Tenga. And looking around these individuals, kind of basing your knowledge of the Tenga off of what Agatha said, you are pretty confident that these avian folk were members of that tribe.
Huh. Oh, looks like we put it in the Tanga. Too bad we're not getting paid for it anymore. How's everybody doing?
Rainbow feathered motherfucker!
Yep.
Take that and that and yeah.
Are you just hitting him with his own warhammer?
No, is she done plucking him?
There wasn't much to be plucked.
Solid. She is going to take her axe, lob off his head, and then kick his body into the water. She's going to take the javelin that she has, walk to the prow of the ship, stick the javelin in the deck, and then stick the head on, and then her rage is gonna fall, and she's just gonna like stomp away to the lower decks.
Coriander's going to pick up his weapon.
Oh, she grabbed that already.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gwen
so-
totally picked that up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, are you keeping that?
Oh, yeah, I'm keeping that.
Are you keeping it?
I mean, she has it. She thought it was cool. No fatty.
It might be worth something, is all I'm saying.
Well, but it's cool.
I mean, yeah.
Is there a tarp I could drag over the people?
Yeah. Because of the rains and everything like that, tarps are pretty readily available for you guys. And then, Gwen, you said that you were going below deck?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you arrive below deck, you see the remains of the crew. You see that there is Oliviette, 1 kobold, and 1 human that are left.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Thank you for being here. And she's looking at you, Gwen, and she says, without your friends, without you, I don't think there would even be this many of us left.
Well, I mean, that's why you hired us, right?
I'll make sure Denzig knows what you've done.
Yeah, It's all right. Do you mind if I do? My tribe kind of has a burial ritual thing. You mind if I? It's kind of like a dance, song and dance thing.
If there are steps to it that are easy to learn, I would be more than willing to dance with you.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Sure.
And you can see that the human who is the surgeon of the crew, as you guys have gotten to know him, Zorka, he looks like he just has his arm around Gurn, whose little kobold arms are wrapped up against his chest, and he's just kind of rubbing his back. They aren't really exchanging words back to each other, as there's really nothing that Zorka can say to make this situation better. But Oliviette will follow you, Gwen, and say, the silver inlay from when Cori and I went, she points upward. It's a good space for dancing.
Alright, sure. Just I'll do the words, you just follow my dance.
I'll do my best.
And when everyone's ready for the funeral, as it were, she'll start doing her dance.
Okay. Make a performance check.
Cool. I need that. Thank you. That's a 16. Performance. +1, 17.
Okay. Olivia finally rolls high, so she is able to pick up very well on the steps that you were doing, and she isn't really sure the ritual purpose of this dance, but she knows that the best way to revere her deity is through dance of some sort. So she is kind of like putting in some Elistrei moves while she's doing you're doing like a haka style dance.
Yeah, there are some like a little, I would say it's mixed between that and like a Tai Chi almost. Like there are the hard movements, and then there are some swift, like
more fluid like movements.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she is going to respectfully dance with you. So Cori, Arjan, and Caelum, what are you guys doing during this time?
The chant that she's doing is in Giant, so Caelum might be able to understand some of it.
You are the only member of this party who speaks Giant.
JK, he can read Giant, right?
Nope.
No?
No. Again, all on you.
Just kidding. It's very nice.
Okay. Yeah, so the remaining three, what are you guys doing?
Caelum's watching the dance. Solemn reverence.
Being quiet and just respectful.
Okay. So once the dance is completed, you see that Oliviette and Cori both have steam coming off of them as they have worked themselves up into a heat when it is so cool outside. And after that, she says that she is going to get everyone some wine or anything stronger if you'd like it. And then she is going to be assigning roles, as the crew is now not large enough to actually operate the vessel to get it back to shore. So she's going to need the four of you to help her. Arjan, you have actually been elected to be the helmsman / navigator, as you have practiced that before. Gwen, you are going to be a bosun. You are going to be helping out with the maintenance of the ship. Cori, Oliviette is going to give you first mate, as she currently doesn't exactly have one. And then she looks at you, Caelum, and thinks and says, Quartermaster. And then it looks like Gurn is going to be their new rigger. So after a few rounds, after she distributes enough, and it looks like there's only about enough wine for a cup. You guys, a cup each. You guys then are given your new roles on the ship, and she is going to go and just begin kind of more of a solemn, stonier face to take care of the rest of the ship, as you guys are only about a day and a half away from Marysville.
Partway through that, if there's like a lull in the action, every couple of hours or so, Caelum walks back on deck, casts ceremony on the bodies. Body walks back, does his job, comes back up, ceremony.
Hey, Caelum.
Hey.
Whenever you're doing the rites, what is it you're actually doing?
For the ceremony that I perform, I basically ask anybody close to the person anything they remember about them, so that at least the body has a written history of at least something, so they can go into their next life hopefully remembering their past.
Do you think you could teach me how to do that?
Yeah. A little bit of study and you could probably do it too.
And Arjan will help with the funeral rites.
Okay. Yeah, so it does not take you nearly as long as it did in Silt Creek, Caelum, as now Arjan is actually able to pretty easily help. These steps seem difficult in practice, but getting a extra set of hands to really help you move things is proving to be invaluable in this. And it looks like Arjan is picking up this sort of spiritual aspect of it as well. More of just like taking on this air of reverence when dealing with a deceased person, versus how you had seen him act previously when you guys were in Silt Creek doing this.
Why the spark of interest all of a sudden?
I've never been a fan of gods, really, but I don't know, all this I guess I'm trying to find religion.
That's fair. There are a lot of gods out there. You're just gonna have to try and find the one for you, I guess.
What if one's already found me?
Caelum gives him a look. Like, first contact found you, or dear God, it's me, Margaret, found you?
You know, I guess both.
Oh, if you don't mind me asking again, who is it?
For you audiocast listeners, he has motioned to his back.
You know that really old 2000s meme where it's the stick figure at the computer and the neck extends backwards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, have you read through her, like, portfolio?
Actually, yes.
When? Why wasn't I invited?
Well, I guess I didn't do it here, but more. It was something I found in my heart.
Literally or like?
Quite literally, yeah.
Oh.
But it's... Like I said, she might not even be listening. This might not even be a thing, but...
Well, does Saloon for each tolerance? I think she just says knowledge. Yeah. Well, I'm happy you found religion. If you need anyone to talk to, I'm all ears.
I actually did want to talk to you a lot about that, but not tonight.
All right. Well, we're traveling together, so you know where to find me.
I do.
Ha ha ha.
He keeps performing the ritually performing ceremony.
Sounds good. And then Cori, what are you doing in the meantime?
I was actually wondering if she could have been in the crow's nest.
Totally.
In this conversation.
Make a perception check. Or what's your passive perception?
My passive is a number that is in front of me if I have the right tab open. My passive is 13.
Okay. Yeah, they weren't being necessarily hushed or quiet about it. So yeah, you will have heard their conversation / exchange between the two of them.
Yep. I think it's one of those things where she accidentally starts eavesdropping, and then like it gets to the point where it's like it would be awkward to reveal yourself. So she just kind of stays up there.
Okay. Yeah, so for the remainder of the day, things are rather slow. There's a very morose kind of feel about the air of the ship currently. And towards nightfall, Oliviette is going to give each of her crewmen a burial at sea. She is going to just wrap them up and then, with your guys' help, push their bodies overboard as kind of the life of being somebody who lives out on the sea. And when it is Malk who is getting wrapped up, Gurn actually comes over and places a rock over on Malk, and he looks up at you, Gwen, and he says, "This one was his favorite.
You should keep it.
It belongs with him." Just like solemn nod. And yeah, you guys are making your way towards Marysville. It is now late into the evening, and you are stopping for the night there's not enough of you to really continue moving throughout unless you all took levels of exhaustion. And Oliviette, after today, just kind of wants to relax a little bit. She does ask Cori, as usual, to join her in her cabin, but tells you guys that should you want it, you have your run of her stocks in terms of booze or food until you get back to Marysville. So what would you guys
what's
like to
the
do?
moon cycle right now?
At this point, it is in a waxing moon. It looks like there is just a sliver that is starting to show. It's been about 4 days since the new moon.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys all going to beds?
see if anybody wants to play a dice game.
Oh, Caelum's writing before he goes to bed.
Okay. Zorka, the human surgeon, will play dice game with you.
She'll go easy on him.
Okay.
Like, almost too obviously, like, ah, shit, I guess I went over again.
And he will just tell you, like, play with him straight. He doesn't want a hollow victory. He wants to earn it.
All right, dude, but honestly, I'm not very good at this game. Like,
It's
math.
dice. Oh, no. How can you be bad at rolling dice?
It's the math part.
And he just sort of nods and says, well, I'll add up the numbers if you want.
Cool. That hit a little close to home playing D&D.
Okay.
It's a dice game. How hard? It's the math. All right. Yeah, she'll accept his help on the math side of it, so she doesn't have to think about it too much.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are playing dice. Caelum, you are writing in your book. Arjan, what are you doing before sleep?
Yeah, if Gwen was already playing dice with somebody else, Cori, you're with Olivia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll probably play a round or two of dice.
Cool.
Okay.
and then
Sounds
go to
good.
bed.
And it is at this time, Cybra will actually come up to you again, Gwen, as she had stayed below deck as soon as shit started hitting the fan. As soon as there was as soon as there was an explosion, she wanted absolutely nothing to do with that. But she comes up to you, and she just kind of sits next to you. And it looks like she's begging for food scraps again.
I don't have anything, dude. I'm sorry. I'm playing a game. I'm not gonna give her. You don't feed dogs feathers, okay?
She'll go over to you, Caelum.
All right. He I guess he's at a table. He'll lead her to the kitchen.
Okay. So when you hand off this piece of food to Cybra, and she eats it out of your hand, you get a very out-of-body experience. This is similar to what Gwen had brought up before, almost in the same way as when your familiars, and you will exchange vision as you just see from Cybra's viewpoint looking up at you.
Am I warging? That's weird.
And then Cybra will just turn around and begin to walk out.
Okay,
Am I still like in her vision?
You are still in her vision, but your body is just kind of like holding on to the deck behind you.
Caelum, are you all right?
I'm in Cyber's head.
What?
She's moving below deck.
Cybra.
Cybra will go over towards where you are.
You are very tall, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. And he'll like crouch down. Cybra, what are you doing?
Hey, what do you want to show him? Go show him. Go on. Show him the thing. Go on.
And she just pads back to Caelum.
How long does this normally last?
I feel like she controls it, not you. So like,
Someone get Cori.
hey. Gwen's gonna run over and like scritch her chin
Arjan, get Cori.
and see if she can get Cyber to lick her face.
She does. And
Oh.
as the tongue extends out to lick the side of your face, that is when your vision comes back to you, Caelum.
Normally I can just do that on command. That's not a good feeling.
All right, go on, pop up. And she like pats her booty.
Okay.
Wow.
Weird, right?
Why is our group so weird?
Hey, I feel like I'm the only normal one here.
Are you sure? You have the spirit of an ancestor who protects your friends.
Yeah, and that's completely normal. Where I come from.
True. Sorry, Arshan.
I mean, I know I'm fucking weird.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to writing.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Gwen's gonna train some more.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Cori, Oliviette has kind of asked you to help her out with a distraction. So where we are picking up is post-distraction in very large air quotes. But it is the two of you kind of lying in her, like in the captain's bed area. And she is laying on her side. Her head is just kind of on your chest. And she isn't really saying anything. And you can see that she is more just kind of tightly holding on to the sheets. And you start feeling her shoulders shake a little bit. And then on your chest, you start feeling the wet marks of tears coming from her eyes.
Cori just holds her.
And as you hold her, you hear her mumble something. Make a perception check. She's very quiet.
16.
Okay. And you hear her say, "So many of them are gone. They were my friends. Even the little ones. They were still my friends." And her hand kind of tightens up on the sheet again. And she breathes in, lets out another large exhale. When we go back to shore tomorrow, what is going to become of us? And she doesn't move her head at all. She just kind of says it into the room.
Cori's just going to stroke her hair. I don't know. I don't want to leave you.
You have much bigger things to worry about. You have been charged not by one, but by two deities, it would seem. And I am just a drow sailor. I would love for you to stay as well. But I know that's not going to be the case.
You are not just a drow sailor. You are a moon maiden.
And she chuckles a little bit at that and says, "That I may be, but I am one of the sea, you are one of the land. I think if anything, I might need to just get a bigger ship. Do something I belong out here. Cori. And she tilts her head up to look at you. You are my Caelum. My trust. You live the life of an adventurer. The book that you and your friends are writing that they go on is just beginning. And I know that your life is going to be full of adventure. I wish I could come with you. And she looks away again.
Cori's gonna take on her moon form.
Okay.
No matter how far I go away from you, we will always be connected. When you look at the moon, think of me, and know that I'm thinking of you too.
And she just holds on to you tighter. And you see that she goes into her moon maiden form as well. And she says, I think I found the biggest reason to never go back into the Underdark. There's no moon. And at that, she'll... she has had such a rough and long day that you just hear her breathing just begin to regulate as she goes into a sleepful-like meditation.
Yep.
Okay.
Cori will as well. But before she does that, she's gonna sit there and look out the window at the moon for a little bit.
All right. So the next day, your guys' evenings go by uneventfully. Caelum, did you have a thing you wanted to do?
As part of my quartermaster stuff, I have access to their inventory log, correct?
You do.
Do they have any glass or crystal orbs on hand?
They do
in their
not.
manifests? God damn it.
No orbs. You know that the closest thing that they would have would be a bottle of alcohol in some sort of glass container.
Okay. I'll do my duties.
Okay. Yeah, so the next morning you all get woken up very bright and early by Oliviette and the remaining members of the crew, and you begin traveling to Marysville. You were in your last day of it, and looking out across the horizon, there are very dark clouds above. They don't seem to have left from when you guys exited out of the storm. But after about 8 hours or so, you guys actually see Marysville on the horizon. It is going to be probably another hour until you reach there, but you can see the mainland ahead of you, just sprawling from east to west, just land.
Gonna ask Cori and Olivia into the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
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 So
there's something I can help you with?
I just wanted to do something as a thank you for letting us on your ship. And I can only do this once, so if you two would like stand together and smile a little bit.
Yeah, Oliviette will get close to you, Cori, and she'll put her hand behind your back, kind of just bring you in for a close hug.
Yep.
Cori will see Caelum pulling out that purple glass orb, and he wraps his hands around it in that circle, and he'll cast Portrait through it. and capture their image inside of it,
Okay.
and hand it to Oliviette.
And she will look at it, and she kind of tilts her view, and inside is just smiling Oliviette, smiling Cori, standing next to each other. And she looks at it, and with tears in her eyes, she will actually bring you in for a hug, Caelum. And she will say,
okay.
"Thank you." And squeezes you a little bit tighter. Cori, seeing this purple gem that Caelum has pulled out, make a history check.
Normally I'd say stay dumb, Cori, but today is not one of those days. A 16.
You remember a conversation that you had with Caelum, where he said that the corrupted memory that he had gotten from when you had messed around in his dreams earlier had been able to be put back. The gem that he then used for this portrait was that gem memory.
Coriander gives him a look. Like, I know what you're onto. And then she says, "Thank you."
At least it's being put to good use.
She kisses him on the forehead.
And Oliviette will release the hug. And then, kind of wiping some tears from her eyes, says, "Thank you again, Caelum, but I believe you have quartermaster duties to go. I have my captain's duties.
Blessing of the Raven Queen at the door.
Yeah, da da.
And Oliviette is going to look at the crystal orb again, and she puts it into a side pouch that she has on her. And she begins to walk out of the door and says, "First mate, believe the crew still needs us."
Yes, I've been meaning to ask you, what exactly does a first mate do?
And she goes over and puts both of her hands against the side of your face and says, "You are in charge of keeping morale good. Make sure it stays up. Make sure that
She's been the first mate of this ship for like 3 days, and
The best part is Cori has an aura of buzzkill.
LB is currently red in the face.
I was already muted. I don't know why I unmuted myself to yell.
So yeah, after Oliviette explains that the first mate's duty is to maintain morale, the two of you then exit back out onto the deck, and she's going to help navigate you guys back to the port of Marysville. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Arjan, when you guys get close to parking, she just kind of bats you away and says, "It's my ship, please let me park it." And then she will do the majority of that work until you guys get close enough that the dock workers here at the Marysville port are able to tie off the Moonrunner, and you guys are able to kind of drop the bridge to allow yourselves back onto the docks of Marysville. And Oliviette says, and it's roughly midday at this point, a little bit past noon, but not exactly dinner. And she looks at the four of you and says, "Where will you all be staying?"
We know of one place.
Let's not go back
We
there.
could probably find a different place.
We could probably find a different place.
Hey guys, I kind of want to go sooner rather than later.
Like, get our horse and cart and just like head out.
Yeah,
Camp on the road.
I really kind of want to get back. I feel like I really want to go back to my tribe for a little bit.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you guys want to come with me, that's cool. If not, I can find people to go with.
Well, but we're a party. We're supposed to go places together.
Besides,
I
if we
know.
leave, we're going to be going the same direction anyway. It's just going to be awkward.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to, steer you guys in a different direction than where you guys want to be going. If you want to hang out here for a while, I know that you have stuff to do.
If we gotta go, we gotta go, right? That's
Wait.
the life of adventure.
We've got time.
Besides, with a 4 keeps, 3 keeps just sounds pretentious.
I don't think you're using that word right.
All right. Like first light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you guys are standing around, I'd like for you to make perception checks.
Okay.
Kraken comes out of the sea, grabs Oliviette. Bye!
Bye.
16.
12.
16.
22.
Okay. So the 2 16s and the 22. Cori, you looking out at the ocean, it is more of a this is your new nemesis, just the sea as a general thing. So you're just kind of having this moment of good riddance. But Arjan, you, Caelum, and Gwen all see what looks to be off in the distance, maybe about 4 or 5 miles or so, that there is a large ship that is currently making its way towards the Marysville docks. And the 3 of you remember that when you were here the first time, that there is a Keshan trade hub within the city of Marysville, and that one of their large ships is probably coming to try and recoup its losses here.
You know, how about we leave like now?
Now?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Now.
Sounds like a good idea. Coriander runs over to Oliviette and gives her a big kiss and then says, I will see you again.
And she is kind of taken aback. Her hat kind of comes off a little bit. And she just looks at you and just is kind of slack-jawed. She was not expecting you to come back and do that so soon. And she says, Are you all heading out?
Yes, we need to be getting going sooner rather than later.
Keshan ship, we're kind of trade hub.
I will speak to Captain Blessington and Denzik and see if we can get them out as well.
Cool.
Besides, she attacked one of us. She attacks all of us. Right?
Yes, well, I'd rather she attacked all of us than just one of us. Be
Don't
careful.
worry. Don't worry about me. I know my way around a ship.
Small amounts of worry about you.
I'll be fine. And as you guys pack your bags and take the remainder of your things off of the Moonrunner and begin heading towards the outskirts of town, as you're leaving, Olivia calls after the lot of you and says, I will see you again, for keeps. Moon as my witness. And she takes off her large hat and does a very nice flourished bow to the lot of you before putting it back on and straightening it out a little bit.
Bye. Thanks for
wave.
not letting us die on the ocean.
She just smiles and waves you guys on. And as you make your way through Marysville, you end up finding the stables. It's been so long since we've had stables. But the stables there that you left Old Bess at, when you arrive, it is this younger individual, Jonas, who was there helping you out the last time. And he says, I didn't think you were ever going to come back.
I mean, we said we were. No, it's been a while.
Well, you rented the place out for 3 days, and then you were gone almost 15.
Things escalated really quickly.
Has it really been that long?
Well, it feels like it's been like months.
It really has.
God.
What's a month?
How much do we owe you?
And he lets you know that you guys are going to owe 50 silver pieces for having stabled your horse and cart for so long.
Oh, for
Highway
silver.
robbery.
Okay,
I think the prices are pretty fair.
I'll pay it with
Alright.
Guild funds.
What even is the silver compared to
5 silver tip.
No. Oh shit.
Okay. And he looks at you eyes wide and says, if you ever find yourself coming back here,
We probably won't.
well, if you do, feel free to come on by whenever you'd like.
Godspeed, Jonas brother.
And he just kind of gives you a closed fist salute over his head. He doesn't really know what you're doing, but he has a handful of money as he does.
Capitalism.
But yeah, you guys managed to gather up everything on Old Bess. Quickly put all of your things in the ramshackle cart that you had purchased off of Parnell, also known as Peter. And you begin making your way out of the city. So that is where we are going to call it for the evening, is that you guys are finally heading back into the mainland. So I would like to say, first and foremost, thank you to all of these wonderful players, not only for doing an excellent job each and every week, but for also devoting their time, because time is a very delicate thing. It's hard to come by these days, but we are all adults who manage to play D&D weekly. It is a good time. It is a good time. I am so fucking hot from this light and it being warm outside. Oh my god, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I sometimes tweet about the nerdy things in my life. And sorry, I had a moment. And I also stream now, Monster Hunter on Wednesdays and on Fridays, XCOM, where there were some losses in the family. Indoor was set on fire and LB was mauled by zombies. So I restarted because I couldn't take the loss.
Oh.
You can catch me here on Mondays as Caelum, the Shatterhigh Cleric, Tuesdays as Speedy, the Human Ranger, on Curse of Strahd, run by Danae Keener. And on Sundays, you can catch me over on Pro Restarter's channel with LB for Phase at 8 p.m. EST as G3, the Robo Barista Hunter.
Nice. All right. And LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
I lost my list. I don't know what I'm doing. Mondays and Tuesdays, you can find me here on the Indoor Adventurers. I play Silmi on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, you can find me on the Dammit Berry channel doing Ghosts of Saltmarsh, where I play Unity. Nope, I play a Triton. And then on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch me on Encounter Roleplay, where my character may or not get laid. Totes did. It was very sweet. We rolled for it. She did all of the work.
She did.
And then afterwards, you can find me on Pro Restarter's channel playing Ophi, who is now returned with her beloved Hesh and is crazy again. And I could not stand playing her as a sane human being. So, yay. Oh, and you can find me on, well, you can't find me. You'll find the kittens. I stream them whenever I don't take them to work. So Monday through Friday, most days. And hopefully they will stay on the bed like they're supposed to and not just get on the floor and do, but it is baby proof. So if they do get on the floor. Anyways, that's it.
All right. Cyber, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me on Twitter where I shitpost. You can find me on Twitch where I play video games pretty bad. We have like an itty bitty spot left of Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds. And I think then I'm gonna be doing something else that might involve talking and people possibly or possibly not exploding. And it might be with someone else.
Oh.
I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what's happening. All those videos go to a YouTube that you can find on the Twitch. You can also find a podcast that Kyle with an N and I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, talk about stuff. One day I'm going to get the next episode edited and posted. It'll be a good day. But for role-playing stuff, you can find me here on Mondays. Hey, you found me. Good job. You can also find me on Thursdays in the Ghost of Saltmarsh game on Indoor Adventures, where I play Albus, the Kalashtar Bard, who's got stuff going on. It's great. Yeah.
Yes. And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of stuff on this channel. I also play Coriander the Elegant Paladin on Mondays, today, and on Tuesdays I run Curse of Strahd here. I also am streaming commissions every now and then, and Tyler and I are eventually going to finish up Undertale. It's all about whenever the mood strikes us. We have no schedule. We just do it randomly. Shotgun. Just like, boom. Won't see us coming. Once again, that's DanaeKeener.com.
That mustache, god damn it. Fucking gets me. So, if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you did not, hello, adventurer. It is I, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at Indoor Adventures. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday nights, we got our homebrew game. Tuesday nights, we got Curse of Strahd. Wednesday nights, we have our community one-shot nights called One-Shot Wednesdays, where this Wednesday, I'm going to be joined by Danae, by Cyberwolf, by our dear friend Jen and Jordan of the Forgotten Realms Explain channel as we play Kids with Wands, a Kids with Bikes hack for Hogwarts stuff. It looks like we got a team of Ravenclaws and one Slytherin. Looking at you, Wings.
I can't help it. She quizzed into it. I'm sorry.
And on Thursdays, we have our Ghosts of Saltmarsh game. That is it for our show. But if you are interested, if it piques your interest, we have on our Patreon at patreon.com/indooradventures, we have an after show called Nights in the Courtyard that is pretty cool. We answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community, and give ourselves a chance to ask each other questions from a player to character standpoint. So that way you aren't breaking the game in the midst of the game when you have a quizzical question. So with that, we are going to be going into Knights of the Courtyard. I wanted to say again, thank you to everybody for stopping by. Thank you to these wonderful players for coming once more as we start our newest story arc, and I can't wait to see where this Exodus takes us. So until then, we will see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!
Exodus or Exa yes?